So, Rufina, you are being attacked by the demon, and I think it kills you. I don't.
Straight to the point.
Do I get a roll?
I, d- I mean, come on. Let's be serious. So, what I want to find out from you is, what do you think Rufina's hell looks like? Because
We're going to hell.
you're not going to.
I did
heaven.
not give to the poor in life.
Yeah. So,
You have about 3 seconds to forgive yourself, and then you can probably go to heaven.
I feel Rufina's special hell. She's probably got this idea in her head of why she left Venice was just the poor on the street infected with plague. She coming from some level of nobility, them all coming up to her and asking for money, asking for cures for the plague. And hell is just that amplified up to 100, just constantly being clawed at by the unwashed masses. Their
Wow.
horrible bulbous faces. Yeah, sort of a sea of people clawing at her, dragging her down, asking for money, asking for forgiveness, asking for things she really doesn't want to give them and can't offer them.
It's a bit of a busman's holiday, isn't it, really, as a surgeon? All these people asking you to do things. And
Yeah. She's not a very good surgeon, I'll be honest. She's more of a surgeon for hire by the nobility
All right,
who
okay.
can pay.
Nice.
The unwashed masses do not pay for surgery, so therefore do not get surgery.
That is, yeah.
do you think being in hell and tortured in such a way changes her views at all? Or
I
is
think it just makes things worse.
just a confirmation that the unwashed masses?
Yeah, like if you get seen your own personal hell, then you just get an even worse reflection of it, right?
Well, not necessarily. I personally once had a very bad trip, which I could describe as a personal hell for me. And what I took away from it is to confront my, what I considered, but nothing like that.
We'll see. We'll see
Okay.
if I leave hell. In my next personal hell, maybe I'll kick the poor, I guess.
Sybil and Giska. In the meantime, the alchemist welcomes you. He's just explaining how he's made this concoction out of various chemicals, and you do notice that Rufina is just very zoned out.
Oh, God. Say wow. So there's nothing on the wall?
I mean, there isn't a crucified demon, no.
Okay.
It might be in Rufina's head.
And yeah, he's showing you, the unicorn's tail was the hardest ingredient to come by. But once I had that, this concoction seems to work. I feel like the tincture needs to be stronger to support adult immortality, but it works great for the kids so far, and they seem to be enjoying it.
Rufina? This is a miracle. And I point at the vial and the little unicorn horn tail thing that he's got, which is probably just like a rabbit's tail or something. I don't know.
The alchemist puts the back of his palm onto your forehead. Oh, you're very feverish.
Rufina, I guess, just blinks a bit and goes, What?
You don't have the plague, do you?
No, I felt like I was burning in hell.
If you don't mind, I want to check for pustules. Could you lift your armpits?
Rufina, I guess, in a daze, just obliges.
Where was the gash?
The eternal question.
I think it was.
It was on your side.
The rib cage, on the side of the rib cage.
I don't think you have the plague, but this looks terribly infected. It smells. Ugh.
The leeches tried their best, but I found no real avail.
I think you should try bloodletting.
Maybe that would let the corruption out.
Might be the next best step. It's been. Has it been sending me visions?
What?
Visions.
Visions? I don't know.
Just for context, Skeleton Man from like the vineyard, did that happen from our perspective, from like me and Gisgar?
I mean, you did see a corpse in the manor house, yeah.
Yeah, but we just saw it wrestling.
You saw that the corpse was on top of Rufina for some reason.
Oh God.
This guy smashed its head in.
Yeah. But we didn't see it.
Moving.
Yeah, you didn't
talking.
necessarily see anything. Yeah.
Sybil's face is sort of falling a little bit. Oh, have you been ill?
It's just difficult to tell. I feel fit, but my sense of self, my sense of my environment, illness perhaps is something much worse.
What if I turn to the alchemist? Well, what about the potion? What if we feed her the potion?
It's not worked so far on adults, but I always am looking to, not to say subjects to experiment on, but subjects to experiment on, sure.
My lady, how old are you?
Oh, 26?
Oh, an old
That's
an
old.
old lady.
That's really old.
It's really
Oh.
old.
And unmarried.
It-
Unmarried at 26. That is
It's complicated.
embarrassing.
But she's not to die, so maybe it will help in other ways. The children were dying, but she is just ill?
She can have some potion. I'm curious to see what happens.
What happened when you gave it to other adults?
They didn't come back.
Oh, okay. That's not a loss.
Yeah, thank you for saying it that way.
There's no demon blood or anything actually in this, right?
No, only unicorn's tail, toad's tears, and stardust.
I mean, that sounds pretty positive on the humors. I guess we down it, yeah.
Yeah, you down it. It tastes very sweet.
I mean, I'm not dead.
That's a win.
We could. He takes his scalpel out again. We could try and see if it works.
To kill me and...
See if you come back.
No, well,
No. I feel like my humors are just imbalanced, or having an...
Okay, well, let me know what happens if the lady suffers any harm and whether the potion brings her back when the time comes. Because the time comes for us all.
Thank you very much for your services, Mr. Alchemist.
And
What was your name? Sorry.
just the alchemist. That's
oh, very mysterious.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Maybe we should talk to the bishop.
Yes.
Yes. And let's talk to the bishop, and please do not kill any children while we are.
Oh, they do this themselves. I don't.
Okay. Make our way out of the
Okay.
building.
Can someone? I don't know if the bishop is alive or not. Can someone just make a roll, and I'll say, and I'll roll a d6, and let's say 1, 2, 3, the bishop's dead of plague, and
Sounds
4,
like a nursery rhyme.
and 4, 2, 6, the bishop's alive.
3.
3. So the bishop is dead. Apparently, you arrive at you ask around for directions to where the bishop resides, and you hear that the sad news that the bishop perished just this morning from the plague.
Right.
Well, I suppose that's no supplies. We need to get something and then just continue.
Are we still with the person who told us the news?
Sure.
Who is leading up the church in town now?
Oh, no one, if you ask me. No one is leading this town, is going straight to hell. Have you seen the prices for apples? Have you seen the prices?
Okay, that's
And
yeah,
a carton of eggs?
it's-
Do you know how a carton of eggs, how much it cost?
I mean, it's been a while since we've eaten, but
Too much.
too much.
Thank you very much, sir.
You two are pretty, though.
Okay, thank you very
Thank you,
much,
bye.
sir.
I was wondering if Sybil would want to try and contact her family, but I don't think she would.
I think on Rafina's mind is more how do we get some food
Yeah.
and maybe how do we loot best.
Yes. Where do we go to steal the best shit?
There is now an abandoned palace. I mean, maybe some people are like kicking about.
Yeah.
But you know, like the bishop's dead. He's not needing his staff.
And if anything, we're just enacting a holy quest, so
Yeah,
he will supply us. Yeah.
it's his duty, frankly.
Are we going to steal from the palace kitchens?
That's a good one.
Okay.
Did the bishop live in a palace?
I was thinking they probably would, because like I don't think it would be like it would be
Yeah, it'd be
fancy because
fancy,
he's like top shit.
Yeah.
Like he is like top level shit.
I feel like I played the Assassin's Creed and the bishop had a palace, you know?
Well, that's good enough historical information for me.
It is actually used as historical, like, grounds.
I
A
mean,
lot
yeah,
of
sure. Palace, mansion, whatever. It's a big,
It's a
rich
big
house. So there's probably, even though the bishop is dead, I would assume it would still be full of his family and guards or whatever. Though there may be probably a good opportunity to loot it, as they are all in shock and mourning from this horrible death.
Maybe they're off to his funeral.
Yeah, there probably would be a funeral. I would imagine normally the funeral would take a little longer to organize, but right now people, have understanding that the plague bodies are not a great thing to have in the house. Yeah, I think as you come to the beautiful regal structure, there is a small crowd of mourners. What's your plan of entering the house?
Well, I guess we could try and blend in with the mourners for a bit and then sneak in a side door into the kitchen. Because that's all we really want, right?
Mm-hmm.
The nice food. So we need to go through the front door and all the guards. The side doors are pretty chill.
Well, again, I think difficulty 3, nothing outrageous.
I could probably do this. I'm going to use my name. So her name's like Wayward. So basically, she got this reputation as a child for being a bit of a sneak, listening at doors, listening in on like her father's business, because that's what she wanted to do. She didn't really want to be like a housewife. She wanted to like become a merchant, but she just wasn't allowed. So she'd find her own way, and she was kind of punished for that. Oh, for fuck's sake! I fail everything. Sorry.
So tell me what the plan was.
So
I don't need like incredible detail, but just to know where we are.
Yeah, I think I was just going to kind of pretend to be like a serving girl and just sort of like make my way into the back door. And
is
go
it
to the
just
kitchens.
you, or is the rest of the group also?
I think probably nearby being like eyes, just to make sure. And maybe if you're kind of helping me out, maybe you're making a distraction or blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so you two are in the house. Would you be standing outside?
I think Giscar's probably standing outside. I'd be surprised if they let him in.
Where the child is?
Yeah, I guess Giscar would keep with the child.
Okay, fair enough. So, Sybil and Rufina, you sneak inside with the servants, and the house is in much more of a chaotic situation that you even thought. Because not only today is the death of the bishop, but apparently the house is changing ownership as well. This house now belongs to someone else. So there is so much of bringing stuff, new furniture, a lot of, all the portraits are getting replaced, all the nameplates on all the doors. I mean, they don't have, metaphorical nameplates.
Yeah.
Everything's getting filed off. And it's this like insane pandemonium. And it doesn't quite help that a lot of the apparently members of the family are boars. There's just these massive fucking pigs in clothes. They're like running through the corridors. Like after the servants, and the servants like seemingly treat them kind of like you would treat a royal child.
Okay.
Like they kind of like engulf you in this wave into the main room of the house, where at the far end is a throne. The room is incredibly gaudy and in bad taste, especially like Rufina. You come from old money. This is incredible.
Some Byzantine purples and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is incredibly new money. There is literally like a golden toilet kind of thing going on. The throne is empty, but behind is the portrait of the apparent man of the house. The portrait depicts a familiar face of a very tall individual with a round head, bald. You met him not so long ago. His name was Enzo.
Oh, okay. Enzo was the guy in the cart, right?
Yeah.
That was going to attack the cart with us. Yeah.
Correct.
Giscar vowed to kill if you saw him again.
Right.
The
Giscar's not dead.
mother listens to all the boars, and seeming like to you it just sounds like
Yeah.
What? Strangers in the house trying to steal something? Servants, please lock the doors. Heavy doors lock behind you. Suddenly it's like very quiet, and all the noises of the furniture being moved around the house is no longer distracting you. It's just you, the boars, and the woman. She's beautiful. She looks like suspiciously a lot like Kiara, but without the suffering of the plague, where Kiara's hair kind of clearly lost its luster and her features were a little too sharp, changed by grief and starvation and stuff. This woman is incredibly beautiful, full health. Rufio, Ruggiero, the boars kind of stand behind you and start
Yeah.
pushing you forwards with their snouts.
Yeah, I think Sybil's just saying, I think there's been just some misunderstanding.
Like
We just wanted to pay respects to the deceased bishop.
I'm so sorry, but my husband, the man of the house, has worked incredibly hard to achieve the success that you are seeing, and he will not look kindly at this. I think you might make dinner for our little babies tonight.
What? She's sweating.
What I'm saying is I will feed you to the boars.
Didn't steal anything.
Well, you were trying to, the servant spotted you.
I'm going to try and use my ability. From within her, this light starts to kind of seep out. And I essentially want to try and convince her that we're friends and that you can trust us. We're on a mission from God. We need help.
Okay, and what's this ability, if you don't mind reminding us?
So it's the corruption of the Madonna and Child. So it's the ability which basically encourages people to feel a sense of like trust and that they're being cared for and loved by me and that they trust me, like being a mother.
I'm going to give you difficulty 3 still, but I'm going to give you a disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you've been caught.
Yeah.
You failed that roll. You've been very much caught with red hands. You will still be able to use power of the dream if you want to succeed or whatever, but this will be a roll at disadvantage, meaning only 6s are successes.
Okay. But black 6 have extra, don't they?
Black 6s, 3 successes.
I have 3 successes.
The way I see corruption working itself into this success is oh my God, I've not realized you are the friends of Enzo's. I will call him right away. He will be so happy to meet his old friends. Dear husband, please come. It sounds like a truck going down the road. It's just this incredible noise, and the whole house vibrates as something descends down the stairs. The door opens with a blast, and a gigantic shape is struggling, so very slowly forces itself into the room. It's the biggest boar you've ever seen, but kind of vaguely humanoid features.
Okay.
In which you only barely can recognize Enzo. My friends.
Enzo.
So good to see you.
It's good being an animal. It's good too. What I didn't expect is the hunger is quite severe, I must say. The hunger is quite severe. Doesn't seem to end. You see, drool starts pooling at the sides of his mouth. Shall we? Dinner? I'm kidding! I'm kidding, friends! Servants, come, make a feast. Immediately the doors open, the servants are bringing all these tables already filled with all the food you can imagine, roasted turkeys, no pigs and no boars. No, I think that would probably be insensitive. But there's soup, there's salads, there's desserts, there's pastries, there's cheese and meats and wine and all the spirits. Immediately there's music. You're in this banquet hall. The Enzo at the very, very end of a long row of tables. Somehow there's guests, there's dancing. How's the food?
I guess we're eating and it's good.
Yeah, I feel bad for you though, for the night. Yeah, I think she will be.
The plan is to smuggle stuff, I guess.
Yeah. For every other bite, she's putting another thing like in a napkin and like, yeah.
Giska, I'd say out of the back exit, the coffin with the bishop was taken out and just kind of thrown somewhere in a mass grave as nobody cares at this point. It's clear who controls the city now. It's not the bishop. You see guests coming, all wearing diamonds and jewelry and beautiful dresses and suits. You see artists hoping to find patronage. You see, this amazing feast being thrown as you stand with the child on the street.
Yeah. Are you hungry? He looks at the child.
The child just like the most Oliver Twist face ever.
Okay, well, looks like let's not let them have all the fun, eh? And he grabs the child by the hand and starts walking towards the main entrance.
Okay, as you walk, there are guards posted, but when they see you, they whisper something like, "Lord Enzo said that there would be a night where let him in, let him in." Just let you pass. As soon as you come into the main hall, Enzo, from the very, very back of the room, screams out to all his guests, none of whom seem to be too perturbed that he is mostly a giant boar the size of an elephant. "Guests, please. This is a night."
This guy looks a little like he's searching his memory. Like something's not sitting well with being called a knight, but he can't remember what it was. Yeah.
I was just talking about him the other night with my dear wife. We had what you might call a philosophical argument in the woods when I was
Is that what they call it?
just a poor bandit. When I was attacking people on the roads, fighting for scraps. And we spoke about how to achieve virtue. I explained to dear knights that, well, embracing your animal nature, realizing that there are no rules, there is just what you want, and taking it was the best way. He seemed to disagree. We almost fought over it, nearly draw blood. I was this close to stabbing him in the back. And then he surprised me and showed a display of animal ferocity that I thought was really something. But here we are, dressed in almost rags, that mace is rusty, worried look on his face, the child with him is starving. Friend, why didn't you follow my advice?
Why would I follow the advice of you're not even a man?
The everyone looks scandalized, but he kind of laughs at it. So the guests also laugh as if this is a funny joke. You still don't understand. This is part of the arguments that we had, friends. He kept referring to man as the superior creature. He kept saying, "Oh, the real animals are those," and not understanding that. Look at me. I'm the king. I can take whatever I want. I can eat you whole. And you, a man, sure. No arguments there. But what is that worth? You can't feed a child. Look at my children. There's very happy boar.
Just a line.
In line. My children eat the best meat and drink the best wine, though the doctors say that they shouldn't, every day from what I provide for them. So what is a man?
Kiska's gonna kneel down to the child and say, "Go and grab yourself some food while you can."
The child doesn't need to be told twice.
Kiska stands back up, looks at him. A man is created in the image of God. You have forsaken that.
Has the God not forsaken us? There's a bunch of shocked, but they follow the man of the house. But definitely some people are shocked to hear that. Has the God not abandoned us? As you well know, the world is ending. The least we could do is feed our children before it really does.
You would revel in the apocalypse.
I think the apocalypse is making everything much clearer.
Host a feast while the horsemen knock at the door. Is that your plan?
You talk a lot of pomp for someone whose child is eating at my table. Wolfing it down. Wolfing it down. And your friends? They like my wine.
I put my glass down.
Embrace it, friend. Come here. Come, Giska. He beckons you.
Giska is taking some steps forward, but he's also loosening his mace in its strap.
He extends his paw,
Hoof.
hoof,
They're
Yeah,
hoofs.
hoof.
to kind of like put his hand on your shoulder.
Giska is gonna step away a bit. He's not gonna be happy about like being.
Now, come
Brought it.
here.
If you have something to say it to me from there.
Don't make this difficult. I just want to have a private conversation.
Visual of this boy just being like, come.
Okay, Giska is gonna step warily closer.
He puts his. It's like a lot of weight and a lot of pressure suddenly, and also not the best smell, especially from the mouth.
I see the smell hasn't changed.
Burn.
Make your jokes, but will you embrace the animal? You can have so much if only you did. And listen, I know we didn't see eye to eye at first, but I'm in a generous mood and I could see potential in you, and it would be good to have a brother in this. I already rule Florence. I will rule all of Italy, which is not a political concept yet, but I will make it one. Because like a lot of it is, in Holy Roman Empire now. Nothing can stop you once you've understood your potential like I did. All you need to do is look inside yourself and find that beast and embrace him.
And I can be a giant pig like yourself?
You will perhaps be a different animal. I am curious to see what your real side is. Maybe you're more of a sparrow, I don't know. Aren't you curious?
People call me and my order the heretics of
And faggots?
yeah, okay, we don't need to have a full list.
Fudge packers. Jammy dodgers.
Okay.
Hair shirt lifters.
But if I do as you say, then I'm proving them right. No. Why should I be a true heretic?
You're not supposed to care. You keep hanging on to these nonsense ideas. Who cares what they think of you? You will rule them all. They're nothing. They're humans.
This is a terrible proposition.
You're really disappointed. I was in a good mood. Don't make me lose my temper.
Oh yes.
There is more and more pressure from the...
Kiska's gonna try and like slide under and away from the pressure of the paw.
Do you want to roll for it? Because I think he's not letting you go. He is.
Okay, yeah. Kiska's gonna roll for it. Kiska wants to take a few steps away and get out of the like crushing weight of this thing. He isn't trying to like leave the entire room, but he needs some space to move around here.
Okay. Give me a roll, say difficulty 2.
I'm going to use my articles of accusation as my bond here. So that's show me the man and I will show you the crime. And he's specifically seeing the man and seeing the crimes that he is committing, embracing this animalistic intent. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a straight, just nothing above a 3.
Oh god.
No ones on the black dice, but yeah.
Okay, so you fail to...
I failed, yeah.
Like, he feels that you were trying to get away.
Mm.
No, Giscar. And he, like, really puts you very, very close. You can just see, like, up close all of his teeth, his tongue inside of his mouth. Don't disappoint me. If not, I will eat you. What do you choose?
I will not deface my body in the eyes of God.
Will your body being digested please your God more? And he opens his mouth and tries to swallow you whole.
Can Giska use his gift of the virtues, his voice?
Sure, you can try. I'll say this would be difficulty 4. You are very much in his grasp and he's trying to swallow you. So arguments, not impossible, but going to be tough.
Yeah, it's not so much argument. It's more like a compelling voice.
Sure.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
make
yeah.
him do stuff.
Well,
you know?
yeah.
Put it down.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No.
You can make the roll. And yeah, difficulty 4.
That's a nice sound. That's the sound of success.
No, it's the sound of a 1 on a black dice. 1 on a black dice. Giska is... Okay, fuck, 1 minute. I'm going to use the dream.
Why don't you want to be swallowed? I thought you could have a great fun inside his belly.
Maybe there's a whole world in there.
There could be a whole world out there.
I imagine there probably is something. You seem very intent on swallowing, but...
Aren't we all?
Okay.
But I'm going to use the dream, which is going to give me 4 corruption. And that is, as I'm using the voice, the dream is to redeem my condemned. Well, it's to redeem my condemned husband in the eyes of God. Make of that what you will.
Gay.
Fact.
Philip II was right.
Yeah. You're not really giving a case here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm using the voice and I'm telling him to stop, and it's very much partly, I think, channeling some of the energy of a past argument with my husband, telling him to stop what he was doing. I think he was being was loose outside of the marriage. And
They often are the
Yeah.
gays. You have an open thing.
Being swallowed reminds you of that argument, which is nice.
Right. Well,
Yeah. So I'm going to take a bunch of corruption.
but you are not eaten by the boar. He turns very angry. There is an incredibly uncomfortable silence from all the guests, not knowing exactly how to act, because this doesn't look like a playful interaction between old friends anymore. This looked bad. And then you raise the voice at the host. So
Giska's stepping away while Enzo is stopped.
the wife stands up and starts screaming to the guards to get them. And then most of the guests start fleeing the chambers. And the 6 boar children begin running around in pandemonium.
Rufina is going to try and take some money and run. I guess I'm going to make use of the boar child just recklessly running maybe through one of the guards, just brushing past them, in that diversion, just duck through a door with some wheels of cheese and stuff like that.
Okay, make me a roll.
Pile of nothing. I got a single success.
What's a cunning animal?
Fox.
A fox. In response to your failure, I think the wife turns into a bright red fox, like a sexy fox, And as she runs through the room, you see her zero in on the child. You do have your wheels of cheese, and you're halfway out the door, but you do see that no one is protecting the child currently, because it was sort of on you in this moment, but you weren't paying attention. Sybil, what are you going to do?
I'm imagining that she's on because she was kind of sort of trying to make her way around the corner. I imagine she's on the end of one of the long tables, and the kid is on the other end of the long table, and she's going to reach down and push the table to try and knock the kid under the table.
Okay.
The whole thing, just you eat it. And I'm going to use the bond under siege, which is anywhere I stand is mine, which is basically just this declaration of even under pressure, I'm going to be my own person. Oh yeah, lots of wins. Everything is a win apart from 2.
What does it look like?
So I see from my right this woman running towards and turning into a fox and diving over the table, and she's just gonna get behind one of the tables and just shove it forward. And as it shoves forward, this kid just gets dragged under the table, and the fox lands on top of the table and skids.
Is the fox hurt in this?
If I can, yeah, because I imagine it maybe landing
that's a resounding success.
lands on a candelabrum or something like that, something pointy, and then skins part of itself.
It's a trap though, because Enzo gets very angry that you hurt his wife.
Yeah, that's fine. I can take that. I can take Enzo.
No one touches my wife.
I love him.
Is there a tablecloth?
There would be.
Gorgeous ones.
Because I imagine I can't outrun a ball to get there. So can Giska instead yank the tablecloth to pull all of the like glassware and everything else out in front of this this boar where it's running, just to try and like, you know, potentially tie it up in the tablecloth as well, and like there's shards of glass, and yeah,
Sure.
he's just trying to slow it down a sec.
Make a roll. Let's see how it goes.
It's good. It's a tablecloth. I'm going with field cook.
Yes.
I've laid some fancy tablecloths over the years. What's the difficulty?
3.
Oh, but it's all good because I got a black one. They hate me today.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I just take the L on that one.
Listen, you were used to, the workman's tablecloth. These really fancy ones, yeah, they have an incredibly high thread count and they're all bejeweled, but it just fucking rips and achieves nothing except you get a angry glance, quick glance from Enzo as he continues to run towards Sybil and tries to swallow you.
Sexy.
What are you gonna do when you see the?
Do you know what? I'm actually tempted. I have not actually looked at how strong the corrupted virtues are, but I had an idea for the corrupted virtue, which could manifest itself now.
Sure.
Which is
What you got?
basically like, I don't know if it's too powerful, but basically I imagined that when she activated it, it was almost like all the like spectral kind of figures of her would just like walk in all these different directions and come out of doorways and walk past her, just in this kind of like she would become one of a crowd of herself because her thing was unseen, unheard. So it was like almost the light would manifest itself in these like confusing mix of people. Right. Okay. Now can I back it up? I've got one on the bloody on the black dice.
A failure. Tell us what you try to do.
So I think she's looking at this thing and then all the candles almost like shift for a second as if they're trying to make projections of her and they just don't get there. Like little rainbows come up almost like they're turning, but it doesn't manifest. And she's just white-faced, just watching this thing jump, like charge towards her.
Okay. I'm gonna say you have a choice.
Yep.
Somebody gets swallowed. Is it you or is it the child?
I think it's me.
Okay. You'll watch Sybil disappear into the massive maw.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sucks there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's wet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of semi-digested foods.
Yeah.
It's disgusting and dark, and you're feeling this prickling of the acidic juices.
Yeah, I'm suffocating probably as well.
I guess Rufina's halfway out the door, looking back and going, maybe I need to help. So puts down her cheese. There's a guard in front of her. I think she could maybe lift a crossbow off him or something and try to shoot.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Who are you shooting at?
At the bar.
Okay. Make a roll.
It's going bad. 2 successes, but 1 on the corrupted dice. We're getting a lot of these 1 on corrupted dice this session.
I think the consequence is obvious. Like I said, the boar and Sybil and the child were all in the same vicinity.
Oh, you shoot the kid.
You shoot the child.
I shoot the child.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows how much her hand slipped?
Just pops up from under the table.
The child falls down to the ground, bleeding.
Ah.
Sybil is in belly of the boar.
Mm-hmm.
The child is dead. Giska, what are you doing?
Giska's seeing the chaos and seeing Sybil get swallowed, and he's going to... Can you use your gift twice in a session?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, he's going to use his voice again. This time, I don't know, something feels different about it. It's feeling like it's deeper. And he's going to yell to the boar to cough her up. Kind of like you would a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Except this time he's corrupted all of his virtues and the voice has evolved. So now, instead of just affecting the subject that he's talking to, it's affecting all in earshot.
Yes.
So if it succeeds, everyone's going to throw up whatever they just ate.
That's brilliant.
Is it? That sounds awful.
Oh, it does, but it sounds great.
But sure.
I can change it.
No, that's. I always wanted to have a vomit orgy in my game.
Hey, we're pretty much near Rome. That's what the Romans did.
True. Famously, yeah. Okay, make your roll. Difficulty still 3.
Oh, I'm going to get so many black dice right here. This is going to go...
Can I help by being the thing that's going to get coughed up?
You can, if you want to take a point of corruption, you
Sure.
can give advantage.
I will help. Maybe throwing up in the stomach of the thing throwing me up makes the thing throw up.
I don't think you can hear it. I think you're safe. That's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of
This
dice.
black one, this spiky one's given me once every time I've rolled it. Oh, it gave me a 6.
Way.
And a
Just more
5.
corruption.
Okay, I got 5 successes. One of them, they were all on the black dice. One of them was a 6.
Sybil, you are ejected in a stream of various stomach acids, and the first thing you see
Yep.
is the child bleeding out and dying.
Oh, God. So I basically land on top of the kid.
The second thing you see is about 30 people thrown up. So it's a
Well, seeing the dead kid is probably going to make me throw up.
I'm gonna say, as far as the combat goes, you have mechanically, quote unquote, defeated the boar.
Yeah.
So you can run away if you want, or you can finish it off. That's up to you how you would act. But if you again, just so you, the
Yeah.
players, understand, this is not something that would be obvious to you.
Could the command be so strong that he like throws up his own stomach like a fucking shark?
Is that what sharks do?
Sharks can, rather than vomiting, they actually like eject their stomachs
Why would they do
and
that?
they just pull it back in because they can't vomit like they would usually do.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, but I can just imagine this thing just like hurling so forcefully that its guts actually come out of its mouth.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna fuck with Enzo.
I mean, yeah. Is that how you want him to die?
Yeah,
I mean, listen.
I want to choke him on his own stomach.
I just killed your child. I'll give you this. Apparently, Enzo, with his eyes bloodshot and terrified, suffers a pretty horrific death of guts outside us, and is breathing his last breaths. The few guests that are remaining are all terrified and just running around. It's pandemonium. All the little boars are just swimming in vomit everywhere, and the guards are useless because, again, it's like a skate ring here, as how slippery it is.
Ooh,
What are the 3 of you doing?
I think she would be wiping like vomit from her eyes and screaming for Rufina.
The demon blood, perhaps. Rufina's arms are trembling.
I don't think she would register that you shot. I think it maybe, yeah.
But also, you said demon. You drank the demon blood, correct?
I did. Maybe I coughed up. I was commanded to cough up.
No. The children had a vial, had a spare vial. They
Yeah.
might still have it. They might have used it.
Do we have time for that?
I don't know.
I think feed the child a bit of Rufina. Like feed the blood of Rufina to this child. Like get the stuff in the kid. Because this kid is like bubbling, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I'll.
It's got like connotations of is it Corpus Christi?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a chance at this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this is either running fast enough to the other side of town, to the cathedral,
Yeah.
grabbing a vial,
Mm-hmm.
hoping that the kids haven't used it yet, coming back in time, or feeding enough of Rufina's blood to have the correct amount of concentration. I'll say it's near impossible, but not fully impossible. So if anyone wants to attempt a difficulty 5 roll to save the child.
Definitely Rufina's blood, though.
I
right?
think that's.
Yeah.
I think also a little
Yeah.
bit. I think a little
Yeah.
bit of the corruption is speaking when that idea comes to
Yeah.
her.
Um,
Who wants to roll?
I mean, I'm happy enough to roll it myself. I'm going to use my bonds of the amputation, which is sometimes cutting it out can be for the greater good. And this time, getting rid of
That
some
sounds
of my
like
blood.
a very appropriate bond.
It does. So,
Mm-hmm.
where's an apt place to put a cut if you're going to feed someone some of your own blood?
The wrist is traditional, but the neck is probably more romantic.
Do we want to be
I
romantic?
don't want to be romantic. With a
I mean
child.
romantic. I don't mean romantic in the Renaissance sense.
Yeah, I think the
you
wrist
could,
is.
You could go very biblical and do like where Jesus was stabbed in the.
In the side.
Yeah.
I mean, that is where the demon blood would be, you know? Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no, for advantage.
fours
One,
are
2, 3.
4.
There's also 4.
5.
Did it work?
Yeah.
5, just. We scraped.
So how do you succeed here?
I imagine, like, the blood that's sort of coming out of Rufina is a mixture of. We're going with green blood now, because that's just weird and corrupted. And some sort of purish blood that the demon elixir has been purifying almost. So he sort of separates a strong word for blood. How do you, we've got
A bit of a cocktail.
bit of a cocktail, and we try to get maybe after a bit of a spray of green stuff, it's getting to the red good stuff, which we feed to the child.
Rufina so far has been a remarkably uncharitable and selfish individual. So what makes you give your own blood to this child that you never seem to like that much? What changed for you? Was it the guilt from?
I think it's the guilt of consequence of your own action. Like, oh fuck, I did this. I am guilty of this. What do I do if I don't make amends? I'll
Well,
just be trapped in this falling apart Florence with nobody who likes me and child murder on my name.
And you've tasted hell.
I've tasted hell. Don't want to go back there. Don't want to go to hell. Maybe that made me make amends.
okay. So if you remember the first time you witnessed the results of this elixir, I mean, it probably shocks you that the child suddenly starts screaming a blood-curdling scream. But you've seen this before. This seems to be how it works. Only
Pulley arrow.
when you've seen previous child who fell from the scaffolding, they only shouted for a few seconds. Your child is screaming and screaming and screaming.
Ooh.
I think this guy's instinct would be to hold the child.
Yeah. Maybe hold the child and run.
Yeah.
Take the wheel of cheese.
Technology.
Okay.
We're near Parma. It's like some Parmigiano Reggiano.
Oh yeah.
You stuff your pockets with cheese. You take this apparently alive but just screaming and horror child outside. And as you leave the house and the sky greets you, it is not the sky as you left it. It looks much more familiar to you, though, Sybil.
Oh.
It is the sky that's slowly filling with bodies. You see, maybe from across the road, you see a mass grave where the bishop was thrown in earlier. And you see his body fly up as if it was the judgment day. All across the country, the graves and cemeteries, they open. Coffins break, and the dead rise up. Now, those who were supposed to go to heaven were supposed to go to heaven now. And yet the gates of heaven are closed. So the bodies accumulate across the sky, writhing across all over the world. This is happening, and soon you do not see light anymore as the sun has been blocked out by generations upon generations upon generations of corpses, some fresh, some just from this morning, and some from hundreds of years ago. and then you watch the building around you crumble in an earthquake as fissures begin sprouting all over the street with sounds of demons, and you see the glimmer of hellish light, and you see orange plumes of smoke. I think this is bad, guys.
Yeah, this is so bad and so cool. Oh, that's such a cool visual.
But we're gonna see where this leads next time.
Yay. And you basically did what the demon wanted you to do. You killed the kid.
Yeah.